So let's start with simplifying gift giving. The first point with gift giving is to limit your recipients. Focus on a smaller group or set a gift limit. This is what I started to do when I first became a minimalist. I actually stopped giving gifts, I want to say in like 2020. But when I first became a minimalist, which was around the end of 2016, I started to focus on who should I really give a gift to. It kind of limited the unnecessary gift given by not giving gifts to unnecessary people in my life. And I kind of focused just on family members. So my family is technically like small, which worked out for me in the long run. I have less than 5 family members when it comes to my side of the family. Less than 5. Which I absolutely love that. I'd rather have a small family than an extremely large family because it was less guilt during the holiday season. So I decreased the amount of gifts that I was giving. I wasn't giving any more coworker gifts. I wasn't doing like friend gifts. And luckily around that time I stopped having friends altogether. So I just focused on a smaller group, and that's what helped me stay a little bit more relaxed and at ease mentally and financially during the holiday season. So my biggest advice is to pause this video, write down a list of people, write down everybody you give a gift to. I know it might take a while, but write down everybody that you give a gift to. Once when you have that list, start crossing out the people that you don't really need to give a gift to. It will help you out so much with decreasing the amount of money you spend and the amount of gifts that you give out. And the next point under simplifying gift giving is to choose experiences instead of material items, which we've talked about that in yesterday's video, so I'm not going to go too in depth with that. I feel like most people understand that experiences is one of the best gifts that you can give because it doesn't create clutter. And when people get older, they remember experiences more than material items that they have purchased. And the last thing is to communicate preferences. Suggest alternatives like donations or other alternatives that I mentioned yesterday. So if you haven't seen yesterday's video, I will link it up here somewhere. You can always look for alternatives. You can communicate with that group that you narrowed down who you're going to give a gift to. You can communicate with them when it comes to your new alternatives. A lot of us feel very embarrassed when it comes to the holiday season because we're not honest when it comes to our budget with giving gifts, or when it comes to just us not wanting to give physical gifts anymore. And we live in a very high consumerism world. I feel like this is the worst it's ever been when it comes to humans buying pointless things that they might not want or need in the next 2 to 3 months. So they just throw it out and then it ends in the landfill. So the best thing for your mental health, your budget, and your inner circle is to be honest. And I have had my fair share of feeling guilty around the holiday season because I'm not giving gifts out anymore. But that slowly went away throughout the years because I was honest with my family members. I was very honest saying I don't want to give gifts out anymore. And when I do have the budget, when I'm okay financially, then I will purchase my mom her favorite concert tickets. I will give my siblings and my niece and nephew more of an experience vouchers instead of physical things. There are so many ways where you can go about gift giving. It's not just a material item. And with slashing out the material items, you can create such a wonderful, memorable minimalist holiday, not just for yourself, but for the people around you that aren't even a minimalist. You're not forcing them to be a minimalist, but you are kind of teaching them that, hey, I didn't bring a physical gift, but I got you guys concert tickets to see your favorite artists. And it's something also to look forward to for that person when they have that voucher. It's something to look forward to. It's not like they just got the gift right then and there, unwrapped it, the excitement is gone. The excitement continues until that date of the concert, which is something that I always appreciated, is things to look forward to. Now let's get into the minimalist decor aspect. I only have 2 points for this one, and that is reuse what you already have, which most of us already know this one. It's very common sense. I have been doing this more now than ever because of how tight money is. We just use what we have. For an example, and this is not necessarily like holiday decor. We don't do holiday decor. It's just not top of our priority. But, you know, for an example of using what I have, our toothbrush holder, it fell and smashed. So instead of me going out and buying a toothbrush holder, I just reused old mason jar that we had that we were using for like a cup. I just put that in the bathroom with our toothbrushes in it. That way I didn't even have to spend any money, and I just went straight to thinking on, all right, what can we make work with what we already have, instead of me going out and spending money we don't have. So to put this in better perspective for the holiday season, if you have an old wreath, or if you have pine cones outside, pine trees outside, you can create a beautiful, or revamp that old wreath that you have. You can create a great centerpiece with those pine cones outside. The pine needles, you can revamp that wreath. Again, you can just work with what you have. If you don't have pine cones and pine needles and you live in a warmer climate, work with what you have. Make a tropical holiday vibe. There's so many amazing DIYs online where, or not even just DIYs. If you have AI or ChatGPT, you can plug in like what you have. Say you tell ChatGPT like, oh well, I have, you know, pine cones, pine needles, and an old wreath and some old ribbon. It will give you directions on what you can do with those things without spending money. So working with what you have can just help you create less waste and help you spend less money during the holiday season. And also go simple. Select a few quality items instead of adding new ones. So if you do need to purchase, say this is like your first holiday and you want to purchase things for, you know, to decorate your house, go for higher quality items that will last you years and years to come. So instead of going for the cheapest tree at Target or Walmart, go for something that's going to be made of higher quality. It definitely will be more expensive, but you'll get your money's worth because you won't have to replace it. You know, the fake little tinsels is not going to fall off the minute you put it up. Go for higher quality decorations instead of the cheap ones. So the next thing that I want to mention is simplifying your meals. And this is something where I am still working on till this day, because when it comes to the holiday season, we bring food to our family members. So plan a simple menu. This is something where you definitely have to be in communication with your family members or friends to avoid excess by sticking to a simple menu. So basically, when it comes to creating a simple menu, have one person focus on the carbs. Have one person or two people focus on the desserts. Because the desserts, I feel like, are like the biggest part of the meal during the holiday season. Everyone's wondering what's after dinner. At least in my experience, most people are wondering what's after dinner. Have someone focus on the protein, or have someone focus on the vegetables. By doing this, it creates less waste, less food waste during the holidays. There were times where we brought lasagna, and then at our family member's house, they had rice, bread. So it was just overload of carbs, 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 carbs. So by the time people were done eating the rice and all of that stuff, no one wanted to touch the lasagna. So eventually it went to waste because, of course, there was more than enough leftovers of rice and things like that. So the food's not going to last forever. Like, it's not going to, unless you freeze it. I guess you could freeze some of these extra items if it happens. But majority of the time, people forget to even freeze some of these items. So try to create a simple menu with your friends and family members. Perhaps you suggest that you bring the desserts. No one brings desserts but you. Have a group chat too around the holiday season if you can. That way everybody's in communication and nobody is out of the loop on what you're bringing. And I also want to suggest that if you do bring, or if people bring too much food, if this whole simplifying your meals doesn't work, whatever is left over and you know people aren't going to eat and it's just too much, pack it up and bring it to a homeless shelter. I guarantee you that will help out so many people that don't have family members or have money to eat during the holidays. And the last thing that I want to talk about when it comes to, maintaining your minimalist lifestyle during the holidays is to reflect and adjust. So evaluate, review what worked, what didn't work, declutter areas that may have accumulated unnecessary items during the holiday season. Let's go back to donating. If you received items that you know you're not going to use and they're just going to end up in your closet, such as candles or things that you're just not into, but your great grandmother gave it to you or your mom gave it to you, not everyone's going to respect your minimalist lifestyle. I'm still going through this. It's not that I have been through this, I'm still going through this. Not everyone is going to respect your minimalist lifestyle and understand on why you don't want to receive gifts, or why certain gifts that you received you just are not going to use. So the best thing you can do, donate it. You either donate it or resell it. It's up to you on what you want to do. I've always donated most of the things that I received and I didn't need. I always donated it to someone that wanted or wished for something like that during the holidays. This way your house is not filled with unnecessary clutter after the holidays, and you can keep a very minimal and clean environment and less hectic going into the new year. And another thing you can evaluate when it comes to the end of the holiday season is evaluate if the whole menu thing worked out for you. By simplifying, the menu, having people, share the load when it comes to cooking. Did it work out for you? Did it not? What did work out? That way you can kind of implement it for next holiday seasons, and you can kind of tweak it to make it work, and you can kind of see what people ate more of. That way it's all right, maybe we focus on this dish instead of this one. Evaluating can help out so much, not just with gifts, but with the meals, with the decor items. Evaluating after the holidays help out so much instead of just pushing all the issues under the rug. Bring them up to the surface and see what you can fix for next year.